How have you been, Steph?
Yeah, I'm great. Thank you, Corey. How are you?
Not dead yet, but reInvent will be doing its level best to change that.
Yes, it always does. I think a pre-tip is make sure to bring some kind of medicine with you because you will be tired. And some
My
people are
voice
saying
is
the flu.
gone, and I'm giving 2 talks, one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, where I'll be croaking into a microphone. It'll be wonderful.
Have you ever heard of the concept of Dr. Floodlights, though? Have you heard this before?
No, I've not.
It's the idea that I've heard it from comedians where when they're like really sick, but when they get on stage, the floodlights like cure them temporarily, and then
Oh,
they come off stage and they're fine. Because I had that 2 years ago when I lost my voice immediately, but every session it wouldn't sound like it, and I come off stage and my voice would be sounding like this, and everyone was like, "I thought you sounded great. What's happened?" I was like, "Just the adrenaline."
yep. The adrenaline hit will cure everything temporarily.
Yes. Temporarily. Let's get into it. So tell us the name and ID of your session.
I am giving 2 because
Okay.
God has cursed me for my hubris and my work is never finished. The less interesting one to this audience is called Disagree and Commits, the performance improvements that cut costs by 1/3. It's about Valky. I need to remind the world that I do have an engineering background, and that'll be OPN 309. More germane and more perilous because of the nature of what it is. What's new with AWS cost management? I'm giving that that is going to be on Wednesday. It's COP 203. And we are basically doing an ensemble cast with this one. We have Bowen Wong from AWS, as well as Matt Burke, who I've spoken with previously. And we're also bringing Matt Kausert. Whatever N+1 redundancy is for Matt's, we have that. He's over at the FinOps Foundation. And what makes this fun is we're rounding up the things that are being discussed and released. For example, yesterday they came out with an efficiency metric. Great.
Yes.
I just saw that one fly by. I can talk about that one. But at this stage, I don't remember what has been released and what hasn't. I do know something hasn't, that I currently, in this version of the slides, have a 4.5-minute full-on crash out about the feature that presumably my co-presenters will, tranquilize me or something so I don't do it. But I am sorely tempted.
Yeah, and if that's not enticing enough, I don't know what is for registering for that second session. It is going to be a juicy one to dive into all the topics. So what are some, maybe from the second one and from the first one, that sounds interesting as well. What are some key takeaways people are going to get from your sessions?
Part of it, I think the big one that I'm always a huge fan of is everything that comes out from the cost optimization space. Honestly, from AWS itself is targeted for someone, and that someone is not always you. So if you're an early stage startup, most of what's coming out of this is for large, complex organizations that have a built out FinOps function. Don't spend $8,000 to optimize your $700 bill. Like that just doesn't make sense. I had an image about that using Redshift to do that once, and it was a giant spoon someone was holding the size of him trying to eat a bowl of cereal with it. Yeah, same principle. Not everything is for you. Everything is for someone, but make sure that the sessions you're attending are aligned with the challenges you're trying to solve.
Yeah, that is a great tip. There's always so many things going on. Like Rosa said, there's so many sessions, and you got to go with what's going to make good for your business. I mean, a lot of companies that are going, maybe you're the only employers and you handful of employees, you got to bring back some kind of good, useful resources you can do. And a lot of those things, like we said, the chalk talks are going to be some of that. So you could get into the weeds with some of these topics. And,
exactly. That's why my demo for the other talk that I'm giving is a reInvent trip report generator that will figure out what you care about and then give a trip report in my voice. If you've ever been me as an employee, you understand what a screaming liability this is, but it amuses me to do it.
That is excellent. I feel like everyone has to check that out. Make sure if you're not following Corey already on LinkedIn.
Yes, it does not yet, but will live at shitposting.ai. Yes, we've already gotten that approved.
Excellent. I knew having you on would be exciting. So you've already mentioned, I think, but are your sessions recorded?
That's really on you folks, more so than it is on me. They're supposed to be, but it would not be the first time I've given a talk and something mysteriously happened to the recording.
Great. So you're going to have to go see it live just in case it doesn't make it to the channel. All right. And then on to our very last thing. What is your big, I can't wait to hear this. What is your big reinvent tip? I'm sure it's going to be extra.
The first one is going to be an extension of what people said previously about wearing comfortable shoes. Bring 2 pairs. Make sure they're not the same brand because they will rub the same places. I have gotten this done. I've gotten this several times now. Yeah, go ahead and make sure that you're planning for the walking you will be doing. And second is the hallway track is my favorite part of any conference. That's why on Wednesday nights I rent out Atomic Liquors. Everyone's welcome. Come and talk to us. If you're not doing anything better, we're there all night. Heavy Bit, Red Monk, and Duckbill are all renting this out. There is no cost. No one will sell you anything. Let us buy you a drink and tell me exactly what my problem is.
I love that. That is a welcome to all. Perfect and perfect timing. Someone's they're going to put their combat boots in, which I love.
Oh, those are so uncomfortable for long walks, as anyone who's worn them probably is well aware.
Yeah, you need some good comfy. I like a selection of trainers. That's what I'm wearing. I've got a bunch of them. But thank you so much, Corey, for making your keys debut. We'll have to have you back on again next year to dive into maybe some of the stuff that was announced.
You really should. I'm a delight.
Yeah, you're charming. As long as you don't say anything too crazy, you've got to take off the air. Brilliant. All right, thank you so much. And let's bring on our next guest, Yuri. That one was a lot smoother.
Hey, Steph. Hey, everyone.
Hello. How's it going, Yuri?
Yeah, all good. Excited about reInvent. Just a few weeks and we are there.
Yes, we are all going to be together. And also, just a reminder, if you see any of the guests that you've seen today, go up and say hi to them and say, I saw you on the Keys to AWS Optimization, and then they'll tell me, which is exciting. But Yuri, let's get into your session. So what is the name and ID of your session?
Yeah, I'm going to do 2 sessions. One is Achieve Multi-Cloud FinOps Visibility, and the code is HMC319. And the second session is Developing Unit Cost Metrics with Cloud Intelligence Dashboards, and is COP 306.
Nice. I love the doubles. I feel like a lot of folks have gotten to see. And like we said, across different tracks, which is also really good. What types of sessions are yours?
So HMC is a multi-cloud one. Multi-cloud FinOps is going to be a Chalk Talk. And it's going to be interactive discussion with the audience. We preparing for everyone a lot of nice stuff and nice discussions topics. We are going to do some whiteboarding, so it's going to be a very interactive session. I'm also very excited because we managed to secure as a co-presenter J.R. Storment, Executive Director of FinOps Foundation. So I'm very excited to share the stage with him as well. So we are going to talk about multi-cloud FinOps. We are going to talk about how to get all the different multi-cloud FinOps data all together and visualize it in one single place and get this multi-cloud FinOps visibility.
Amazing. I wish that I was a customer so I could come in and sit on that session. I'm very jealous. If anyone wants to swap lanyards, I don't think we're allowed to do that. I could just pop in, wear a disguise, and change the color. That'd be very funny. Excellent. So, what about the other session?
The other session is going to be a builder session, and builder session is actually very hands-on session. So, where we have like 1 hour of pure building hands-on in lab environment where you can build stuff, you can break stuff without being scared to break your production or something else. What we are going to do actually there is we are going to get into unit cost economy. So we are going to build a business unit cost dashboard with some customer related metrics. So we will have like a unicorn metric, a unicorn corporation demo customer, which is going to implement unit cost economy dashboards. We will have 2 metrics, and it's going to be quite exciting because in 1 hour you will see how easy it is to do. And one thing about unit cost economy, just I feel that we speak a lot about it. We have like frugal architect principles where there is a low systems which less align cost to business. We have like in FinOps Foundation, there is the whole capability about unit cost economy in in well-architected framework, we speak about it. We have multiple blog posts, but we talk about the concept, but we never explain how to actually do that, how to build it with AWS services. So that's what we are going to do in our session.
Oh my goodness, amazing. And I love how I think you doing the builders has ticked us off. So every type of session I think you can have at reInvent we're having on this discussion, which is pretty cool. So with those ones, maybe pick one. I would love to know more about I think the multi-cloud one is really interesting, because we talked about this before, I think you and I, when you were last on, that was it last time? That we're seeing more of a drive towards this, where we're like, okay, how do we do this with things like focus and other areas? We want to make sure we understand that businesses have these challenges, and we want to make sure that they can actually use it. So what are maybe a couple of key takeaways from the ones that you're going to show, your sessions that you're doing?
Yeah, the key takeaways for multi-cloud one, there would be basically everyone will learn how to leverage available solutions, available automations, which we provide out of the box, to actually quickly get up to speed with multi-cloud FinOps reporting. How to, we are going to talk about Focus, of course, and just yesterday we launched support of Focus 1.2. So well done to the whole team who worked on this. And we are going to talk about Focus, of course, but also we are going to talk about, not just how to get data in the same format like Focus, but how to get data in the same place, which also not super easy if you start, thinking about all multiple cloud providers. So yeah, that's all what we will cover: how to consolidate data, how to visualize data, how to get actionable insights out of the data. And we also get into some advanced scenarios like Gen AI with multi-cloud FinOps and things like that. So it's going to be very exciting.
And so when and where are your sessions?
All right. So multi-cloud FinOps session is going to be on Monday, December 1st at 1 p.m. in MGM. And then repeat is going to be on Tuesday at 5:30 p.m. At Caesars Forum. And unit cost metrics with Cloud Intelligence Dashboard session is going to be on Monday at 5:30 p.m. At Mandalay Bay. And on Tuesday, we are going to have repeat at 1:30 1:30
Yeah,
11:30
11:30.
yeah 11:30 a.m. at Mandalay Bay. I'm just like, I put this timing because it's too much. So Monday and Tuesday is going to be very packed for me, so 2 sessions each day. So I hope to have some some chill time maybe on Wednesday morning or something, but
Yeah.
looking forward to that. Those sessions are not going to be recorded, so it's the only opportunity for everyone to to attend them. So I would suggest like prioritize them, because if all the sessions which are recorded, you can watch them afterwards, but the ones that are not recorded, actually it's usually a miss. Like,
Yes, yeah, get along to those ones. And there's repeats, but guess what we said? They're probably fully booked, so you've got to get in there early to get in to those sessions. All right, quickly, Yuri, what is your reInvent tip?
Yeah, have fun. Like, just have fun. Build new connections. Like, just get to know more people. Meet some people who virtually. Meet them in person. Use this time to build connections. What I usually say, sessions are important, but again, prioritize maybe meetings with service teams, meetings with actually like some like product managers of service teams, which services you use the most, which, for example, for which services your business rely on. Try to partner with them, try to build some connections with them, and build some cadence with them to stay in touch with them later. So use this time to actually build as much connections as possible within AWS and outside of AWS, with partners, with, others. So it's all about connections, really.
Brilliant. And as Shadow Fox has put in the chat, if you have burning questions, Chalk Talk's other place to go. Exactly. Great tip. Enjoy and have fun in Vegas after all. Thank you so much, Yuri, for coming on and sharing your sessions. Can't wait to see you in 2 weeks. Let's bring on our second to last guest, Wade. The transitions have got slightly worse over time, I think. Here we go. I can see Savannah is taking the mick out of me as well in the chat. Welcome, Wade. Thank you so much. You were only on the other day, but we thought let's just make sure that we come on in the session to summarize your talk and get into those nitty-gritty bits. But remind everyone, what is your session and what is the idea of it?
Yeah, it's architecture track. So it's ARC 309 and it's the Frugal Architect Game Day. Yeah, Steph mentioned I was on last week talking all about it. So make sure to check out our YouTube upload of last week's episode as well.
Yes, check that out. And it's, like we said, another different track that are from the COP ones, which is what the normal sessions are from, but the track that we are heavily involved in, but the architecture one. And this is the Frugal Architect one, and it's very early in the morning. But what is it about? Just a recap from the other day, Wade.
Yeah, so we basically have a base architecture, and we need everyone's help to go and optimize that architecture using the Frugal Architect teachings. And maybe I'll give a little back lore to the company that we're helping out here, just a little snippet for folks. And so it's a critical turning point for our company, Innovative Architects Incorporated, because we've just acquired a promising young startup, Unobserved System Solutions. And they're known for their high performance cloud applications. But although they've been growing rapidly, and that's been impressive, their infrastructure costs have spiraled out of control, which is kind of a classic case of neglecting the first law of the Frugal Architect: make cost a non-functional requirement. And so that's just a little bit of the lore for folks. If you want to find out more about it, come to our session.
I love that the workshops have this kind of backstory element to them. So workshops very different. Workshops, folks, if you're going to reinvent, you got to do me a favor. You got to make sure you bring your laptop to the workshops. The amount of ones I've seen where people don't bring their laptops, you're going to miss out. And tell your colleagues, tell your friends, if you're going to a workshop, please bring your laptop. So what are some of the key takeaways people are going to take from the session and put into their business?
Yeah, what we're hoping is that people are going to have fun, number one, and that they're going to learn how to optimize on AWS in a realistic and gamified risk-free environment. So we don't have to worry about migrating to a different instance type and accidentally shutting down their production workloads. If it happens within the game day, that's lessons learned. We don't want it happening in their own environment. So great way to try out all these optimizations we talk about and get better at them, essentially.
Perfect. And when and where, you said, actually, no, you haven't. We talked about the day, but when and where is your session?
Yeah, it's going to be bright and early, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. In the MGM on the first day of reInvent, the December 1st, Monday. So for those folks traveling from EMEA, you're probably going to be up. Come over to our session, right? You'll already be awake. So
exactly. And the good thing is that by going to Wade's session first, bright and early, it's almost like going to the gym in the morning. You're like ticking the box. You're like, okay, I've already been to an amazing session. Let's set the bar really high. And then at least when you use Corey's write up the trip report, you're like, I went to this awesome session. And then the rest of reInvent is a bonus because you're going to learn all of these awesome things. So you start it off nice and strong. Wade, what is your top reInvent tip?
Yeah, top reInvent tip is probably that when you look at places down the strip, it's going to look real close. And that's because those hotels are massive. And so when you look at something, you think that's going to take me 20 minutes to walk there, it's probably going to take you double that. And so we've talked a lot about walking and all that, but just time when it comes to that as well is really important. And I also want to mention our session won't be recorded. Kind of hard to record a game day, but if you do miss out on our session and want it for yourself, talk to your AWS account team and we can set up a game day for you and your team to go through the whole thing.
Yes, and if you want to dive into the concepts of the Frugal Architect, Wade was on last week. Is it last week? I feel like on last week. So just come back and look for someone that looks very similar on the AWS channel or on any channel you're watching us, and you'll be able to watch Wade and I deep dive into the Frugal Architect a little bit more, so you kind of catch that recording. But yeah, totally agree. Those hotels are like optical illusions, and I love how this whole thing, everyone's just like, let us focus on walking and eating. The principles when you go to reInvent, it sounds just like really hard work. No one's like, and you always have fun, but everyone's kind of like very specific, which is great.
Yeah, no shortage of learning. You got to make sure you'll be able to be present for that learning, though. And I think the walking even goes within the hotel, right? If you're like, oh, I'm there, it's going to probably take you at least 20 minutes to get to your session once you enter the hotel. So just keep that in mind too.
Mm-hmm. And everyone's doing the same thing. There's a bunch of folks there that ask me, and I think Amazon people who are wearing like a specific t-shirt. A lot of the times like us, we don't know either, but there are people whose job it is to direct you. So never be afraid to ask for those directions. Wade, thank you so much for popping back on to the show. I can't wait to hear how your session goes. Thank you so much. And last but not least, let's bring on Savannah. And
every time I'm like, what's she going to be wearing? But it's the same t-shirt.
I'm just wearing the same. Now I've just got the replay shirt on. We're at the end, so it's the replay time, which is good. I'm excited to hear about your session. So let's get into it. So what is the session name and ID of your one, Savannah?
Yeah, absolutely. So my session is COP 339, Developing a Cost Allocation Strategy with AWS Tooling, and it is a chalk talk. So it's going to be interactive. The goal is to give people kind of a look at all the menu of options that people can use to split up their costs or split up their bills within AWS, and then have a discussion about how you can kind of mix and match those to create a recipe that works for you.
Oh, I love this kind of like foodie technique is yeah, the idea of all these things, but it's super cool because there are, especially things are released, like we just said, there's a bunch of stuff coming out all the time. There's so many services, especially if you're newer or you're getting into this world of FinOps. There might be things you didn't even heard of, and these guys are going to explain it, but also a lot of strategic techniques that Savannah works with large customers and will be able to kind of share all the way from small concepts all the way to the big ones. What are some key takeaways that folks are going to get from your session?
Yeah, so I think in addition to kind of understanding what's out there, what I'm most excited about, and what I think differentiates this from some of the resources that we already have, is we are going to be taking a look at some of the newer releases. There are some that are going to be like new to November, new to reInvent, but I've got a couple in there too that are already exist. They're from earlier this year, but I don't think got enough fanfare when they were released. So we'll talk a little bit about how we've seen customers use those creatively, or how you can kind of mix and match that with a tagging strategy and cost categories to put together something that really works for your business and makes this stuff easier. I hope people come away with an understanding that cost allocation is an iterative process, and I'm really hoping that we get a lot of questions and discussions. The people in the room also probably have novel ideas that are working well for their business. So excited to have those discussions too, and kind of treat it more like a roundtable.
Brilliant. And we mentioned kind of these also new services. Next year, our plan is to deep dive a bunch of these new services. So if there's any favorites you have and you're like, oh, I really hope they cover that, cost optimization at amazon.com is going to be where you're going. Thanks for this intro session. Special thanks to Steph. You're welcome. Enjoy all these sessions. But with your one, it being a chalk talk, do you have, because we're also talking about general reInvent stuff, do you have any advice for people going to chalk talks about what to do in those sessions?
Ask questions. They're supposed to be interactive. That's the reason why they're not recorded, is because it is a closed door room where you should feel empowered to ask any question that you want to know the answer to. I know it's scary being first. We're going to try to make it a little bit less scary for everybody to raise their hand in those situations, but definitely like take advantage of the fact that your speakers are there right in front of you and asking for questions. And remember, you can track down people outside of the room as well, whether that's in the hallway afterwards if you want to talk about something really specific, or at some of the booths. We've got a cloud operations booth. I know we on the optics team will be milling about, and in a couple kind of like come ask me spaces as well. So make sure that you're leveraging those resources while you're there.
Yeah, and we love talking to customers at reInvent. It's honestly, I think, our favorite things. We also get to do some kind of private customer meetings as well, and we love them just to hear like what people's challenges are, and also hopefully how we can overcome them with you or even help further outside of it. When and where is your session?
It is on the Wednesday, so a little bit later in the week, hopefully, and people aren't too sleepy by that time. But it's at 11:30 a.m. in the Wynn, so a pretty short walk from the Venetian. You can cut outside if you want a breath of fresh air on the way there.
Yes, and recommend doing that. Just get some time outside, folks. That's it. That's also a good tip.
Touch grass or like look at grass.
Yeah, like Katy Perry when she got off the thing. Brilliant. Okay, and what is your reInvent tip?
Yeah, my reInvent tip is remember that Las Vegas is a desert and it is very dry. So bring chapstick, bring lotion, and if you're really worried about it, you can also ask your hotel's front desk for a humidifier to be put in your room. So
This is something that everyone said on like the kind of never known to do this. So I'm gonna be doing it. Well, Costley has just asked, am I doing a session? And so
it
we're
wouldn't
gonna
be
turn the tables.
reInvent if Steph wasn't doing a session. Steph, tell me about your sessions. Where are they? What are they?
Thank you so much. So that was like a plan. Thanks, Costley. So I have 2 sessions. Mine are going to be optimizing AWS costs with developer tools and techniques, which is going to be Dev 318. Let me drop that in the chat. 318. And that one is going to be the customer, Kenneth from Betson, who's a friend of mine. We're going to dive into how he optimized his entire organization. And then we're also going to be using AI to do the same things again, but faster. So we're going to take lessons learned and kind of use Kiro and Amazon Q to do those optimizations first. I had so much fun learning for this session because I got to see all the cool ways that you can use those AI tools to help not only find these optimizations in like simple formats, but also more advanced ones and get them deployed faster and things like that. So that's going to be pretty cool. And then the other session is COP 401. Let me make sure I write that too. 401. I'm going to do my own writing. 401, which is Advanced Analytics with AWS Cost and Usage Report. So you may have heard that title before, and that is because I have done this talk now my 3rd year in a row, but every year is different. No repeat, no, I was going to say like no outfit rewearers or whatever Liz McGuire says, but repeater. But it's a new session every year. We cover different topics. I've done it with Alex, I've done it with Justin, and now I'm doing it with Andy. And we're going to be covering some cool things around optimization, cost allocation, and security of data. They sound high level, but we're going to be solving some really critical problems that customers have. And that is a code talk. So that one is live coding. And I know, I do live sessions every week with you lovely viewers watching me do this, but live coding, scary. Things hopefully don't break. And yes, hence the jacket changes, which is why I'm a very tenured reInvent speaker and have a bunch of different things. But also someone asked, what's the temperature like? Is it cold? In the night, it's cold. In the day, yeah, exactly. It depends. But yeah, some cool sessions that I've got coming up, so.
Yeah. Where are they?
Oh my goodness. Okay, so it's a busy time. So my first one, let's take this one thing at a time. So my code talk, the Kerr one, is 8 o'clock at MGM. I have to read my notes. I was like, oh my guess we read. Yeah, at 8 a.m. Monday. Okay, and then in the afternoon of the Monday, my dev talk is at 3 p.m. in MGM. And then on Tuesday, I'm redoing the code talk. So if you miss it, you can catch it then. And that is 2:30 on the Tuesday in the Win. So I'm bouncing around a little bit, folks, but my sessions are recorded. So you'll be able to catch them on the YouTube channel. Like I said, we'll be able to share them.
Awesome. Oh, code talks are recorded?
Yes, code talks are recorded.
Oh, that's
this
awesome.
year's first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That's exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's also because it's the first one of the 2 is recorded, the 8 a.m. one. So I'm like, we've got to go. Cool. The first one's going to be perfect. Otherwise.
I feel like they were nice by giving the 8 a.m. slot to somebody who's going to be jet lagged in a way that's favorable. Because if they had given me that and told me they were recording me at 8 a.m. on the Monday, I would be like, what did I do to deserve this? Exactly.
2 English folks are like, we'll be up. We'll be ready to go. Like, give it to the EMEA folks, and they'll be sailing through. Unfortunately, means I'll miss Wade's talk, but otherwise he could manage without me.
I'll be there for workshop support. So
nice. Yeah, you see Savannah.
I know we're coming up on time, but Steph, I know you've got tips galore. What are your reInvent tips?
Let's be real, guys. You've seen me change. My tip is get as much swag as you can. So I have 7 different jackets worth from reInvent. I love my swag. I'm a big advocate of swag, as everyone can kind of see from this office. My tips, let's break this down into things. Number 1, bring a second bag. I bring a second duffel bag with me to pack the stuff into. Number 2, if you want a t-shirt in your size, you've got to go day 1, Monday afternoon. That's how you get the t-shirts in the right size. All the other swag that's kind of all right, you can get on Thursday. And that's my strategic thing. But just say yes to everything. And then if you get to the end of reInvent and you think, oh, I listened to Steph too much, I've got so many pieces of swag, I don't want to take all these clothes home with me, do not worry. There are swag deposit boxes where you can give these to charity. So if you realize, I've taken too much, that's absolutely fine. I get it too. Everyone's like, oh, I'll take that shirt of a logo I've never seen before, and I'll take several hats. But you need to, but it is cool because they do become things. It's very lucky Amazonians don't get to have the hoodie. The ones that I have are gifts from customers who are friends of mine. If you want to give me your hoodie, I'll take a medium.
Steph, I thought you were gonna say on the last day, if you think you've taken too much swag, come find me and give it to me. I fully thought that's what you were gonna say.
If someone emails cost optimization hub at amazon.com and says, Steph, I need some help with swag, I'll be there like a superhero.
She'll find you. She'll come wherever you are. She'll be like, put on your location. I'm on my way.
I have a certain set of skills. Yeah. They are packing swag. I love it. But yeah, you gotta do it. And it is really good fun comparing swag, sharing them. Also, if you get some good swag and you think Steph would appreciate this, drop me that email too, or show me. And if you see me, the big tip is as well, I love swag, but I'll echo a bunch of these things people said, but have a good time, network, make sure you take care of yourself. But my big thing is, if you see me or any of my guests, please come say hi. If you enjoyed the show, tell me what you love about the show. If you want to see something different for next year, please tell us what episodes you would like to see. But yeah, it's a great time to go and chat to different people and experience lots of learning that was said and get some cool free stuff. But yeah, that's basically it. Any final things from you, Savannah, before I wrap up?
Yeah, I think not so much a tip, but just a reminder. If you need 10 minutes to just breathe and not be in chaos, go find a quiet corner, find a restaurant in the Venetian, go get yourself some gelato, and just sit down and recharge. reInvent's a very chaotic environment. Las Vegas is a very chaotic environment in general. So remember to take those moments, especially most of us working in the tech industry spend a lot of time in front of our computers and are pretty introverted. So be mindful that you have to take care of yourself, because you might burn out if you don't.
Yeah, and that gelato is good. We have had it.
The gelato is very good. That was one of my goals one of the years, was to actually get time to get some gelato.
Because every time we walked past it, like, we should get the gelato.
Like, that looks good, and we never stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, and the other thing that I love is the Chipotle in the Venetian. If you need a quick meal, Chipotle always hits.
For sure. Brilliant. Okay, take a look at the Ultimate Guide to FinOps Know Before You Go blog. This will have a bunch of the sessions that we have. But if you want to make sure you catch on to any of the optics sessions and loads of sessions we talked about today, take a screenshot. These are all your optics folks. Some couldn't come today, but these are the ones that are going to be by people you know and love from this show. Lastly, if you want to stay up to date with any of these episodes, we have one more episode after reInvent, which we are our reInvent recap / Christmas episode. So make sure to tune in and look out for that. You can check it out on here. Also, my show How to Build Like AWS back on Monday for a deep dive into a NASCAR solution. So make sure you come and see that. And if you want to learn all about the amazing things, and mainly if you want to see the video recordings of the sessions, check out the Customer Acceleration team. We will be sharing all of the videos post reInvent on there. And with that,
one more little thing too. Sorry, I got one more tidbit. I will say, I think we're pretty lucky to exist in a cloud financial management space where a lot of the big launches happen immediately prior to reInvent. And then we talk about them after they've been live for a couple of days. So keep your eyes on that cloud financial management announcements blog on the AWS website as well, because you will start to see things pushing out and you can get a little preview of what they are and then ask more informed questions next week. Or
brilliant.
2 weeks from now.
Just drop that in the chat. Check out all those blogs. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed our swag-filled, guest-filled, amazing reInvent extravaganza. We'll be off next week because it is Thanksgiving, but we will see, and we're off when it's at reInvent. So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and enjoy the holidays, enjoy your reInvent prep, and we'll see you all soon. Bye.